This man earned around $150 million making movies. He was an Oscar winner, one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. And then he spent it on a dinosaur. A real one. A $276,000 dinosaur skull, which he later had to give back because it turned out to be stolen. And that wasn't even close to the strangest thing he bought. 2 castles, a private island, a haunted mansion, a pet octopus. By 2009, Nicolas Cage, a man who made $150 million, was nearly broke, buried in debt and fighting the taxman. But here's the twist that makes this worth 10 minutes of your life. The dinosaur skull is not what bankrupted him. The octopus is not what bankrupted him. The real reason he lost it all is a mistake you could make at any income, and it's hiding inside 7 money rules. The first 2 are how he got rich. The other 5 are how he went broke. So you don't have to. Quick background. Nicolas Cage was born into Hollywood royalty. His uncle is Francis Ford Coppola, the director of The Godfather. He could have coasted on that name forever. Instead, he changed it. Rule 1. Build your own name, don't inherit one. He picked Cage so casting directors would judge the work, not the famous last name. And it worked. He won an Oscar and became a star on his own. The lesson for you isn't have a famous uncle. It's the opposite. Don't lean on a connection, a single employer, or a name you didn't build. The reputation you create yourself is the one asset nobody can take back. Bet on you. Rule 2. Make yourself the must-hire. By the mid-90s, Cage could command $20 million for a single film. Not because he asked nicely, because he was a draw. Studios needed him to sell tickets. When you become genuinely hard to replace, the rare skill, the track record, the results, your pay stops being a negotiation and starts being a fact. The takeaway: don't just work hard, become undeniable at one thing. Your leverage is what sets your price. So that's how he built it. Now, how he set it all on fire. And this first one is the rule almost nobody gets right. Rule 3, and it's the big one. The boring risk is the one that kills you, not the flashy one. Let me show you using Cage's actual shopping list. He bought 2 European castles, one in Germany, one in England. He bought what's been called the most haunted house in America, down in New Orleans. A $20 million private jet, a private island, around 50 cars, including 9 Rolls-Royces. And the genuinely strange stuff: a pet octopus, 2 albino cobras, shrunken human heads, and a piece of meteorite from Mars. Now, it's easy to look at all that and say, well, there's your problem. But here's what Cage himself said about the octopus. What is an octopus? $80? You don't go broke, he pointed out, buying an octopus. And he's right. The thing that actually ruined him wasn't the zoo or the dinosaur, it was real estate. At his peak, he owned around 15 homes, and he was massively overinvested in property, right as the 2008 housing market collapsed. The weird purchases made the headlines. The boring, leveraged bet on 15 mortgages is what detonated. That's the lesson, and it applies to you directly. The risk that wrecks people usually isn't the obvious splurge. It's the big, boring, leveraged thing they've stopped noticing. The mortgage that's too large, the money all in one stock, the car loan they've normalized. Audit the boring stuff. That's where the danger actually lives. Rule 4. Trophies are not assets. Castles, jets, and dinosaur skulls look like wealth, but most of them only ever cost you money. Upkeep, taxes, insurance. They drain. They don't pay. And here's the proof, buried in Cage's own collection. Out of everything he bought, one thing actually went up in value. A rare Superman comic he bought for $150,000. When the debts came due, he sold it for over $2 million. The one real asset he owned is the one that helped save him. The takeaway: before you buy the thing that makes you look rich, ask whether it makes you rich. Real wealth is assets that put money back in your pocket, not trophies that quietly take it out. Rule 5. Respect the taxman, or he ends you. As the spending spiraled, Cage fell behind, owing the IRS millions. By some accounts, well over $6 million, with his total tax troubles running toward 14. He even got dinged for improperly writing off personal trips on that private jet. The rule is the same whether you make millions or not. The money you owe in tax was never yours to spend. Set it aside first. Don't get creative with the deductions. The bill always comes with penalties on top. Rule 6. Watch your own money and don't go looking for someone to blame. When it fell apart, Cage sued his business manager, saying he'd been steered into ruin. The manager fired back, pointing out that Cage had spent $33 million on property, art, and that dinosaur skull in a single year, and asking how anyone was supposed to manage that. They settled. The truth was probably somewhere in the middle, which is exactly the point. You can hire help. You cannot outsource paying attention. My guy handles it is not a financial plan. No advisor, no manager will ever care about your money the way you do. Stay literate enough to check the statements yourself. Rule 7. Any income can be outspent. This is the one that ties it all together. Cage made $150 million. $150 million. And he still ended up in the red, because his spending simply rose to swallow whatever came in. If $150 million can vanish, so can any number, including yours. There is no salary so big it can't be outrun by a lifestyle that grows just as fast. The rule: when your income jumps, hold your spending flat and bank the difference. What you keep is the only number that ever mattered. So that's the wreckage. By 2009, Cage was selling off castles, losing homes, and staring down bankruptcy. But here's the part I love. He never actually declared bankruptcy. Instead, he did the unglamorous thing. He worked. He took almost every role offered, sometimes 4 movies a year, plenty of them terrible. Critics mocked him. Memes called him the worst actor in Hollywood. He kept cashing the checks and paying down the debt. He sold the comic, he ground it out, and by around 2022 he was debt-free and had quietly turned back into a respected actor in films critics genuinely loved, from Punchline to Prestige. The man made nearly every money mistake there is on a spectacular scale and clawed his way back without going bankrupt, which is the useful part. These mistakes are survivable, if you're willing to do the boring work of digging out. So there's your masterclass, paid for entirely by Nicolas Cage. Build your own name. Become the must-hire. Then, the boring risk is the one that kills you. Trophies aren't assets. Respect the tax man. Watch your own money, and remember any income can be outspent. None of these need an Oscar or a castle. They work on a normal paycheck, starting this month. That's the whole point. A man can make $150 million and lose it, and an ordinary earner can quietly build wealth by doing the opposite. If you like watching giant fortunes get built and then blown, you're in the right place. Subscribe and stick around. Because there's always another fortune that looked unstoppable, right up until the moment it wasn't.